Yeah, good question. I look out here at the audience and we got 1,600 people at the conference, and I have to envision in my head doubling this and then adding another 800 people for the 4,000 that I had. And in fact, we had more people in that one class than I've taught in 23 years combined in higher education. So it's amazing times. And my friend Chuck Severance at Michigan, who created Sakai, he's the man with the open source tattoo, if you will, he had 44,000 people on a course on the internet from the University of Michigan last month. And all of you can sign up for a couple courses right now from Stanford, one on creativity and one called Designing a New Learning Environment by Paul Kim at Stanford. All of you can participate in these massively open online classes. What's happening is people all around the world are signing up for free courses from Harvard, MIT, now Indiana wants to jump in, Illinois. There's an umbrella called Coursera, which is partnering with universities to enable the mechanism for this to take place, the systems in which this happens. So people sign up for a free class. Maybe 20 or 15% of them actually complete the entire class. But when you talk about 100,000 people in a single class, that's 15,000 people or 20,000 completing a course on computer programming or financial accounting or whatever it happens to be. These are really unusual times that we're in. You can dip your toes in the water, find out something interesting.
Now, I've been on both sides of this, both as a teacher and as a learner. I had to really take almost an educational laxative when I was the teacher, in the sense because I didn't have control.
Yeah.
I mean, you're used to when you're teaching, you're in control,
yeah.
And suddenly you don't know if they're showing up again, or you don't know if they skipped the first 2 classes, and you're not there in that control mechanism. So what was that like for you?
Wow. I had a course called Instructional Ideas and Technology Tools for Online Success. So if teaching is the ultimate calling, teaching a MOOC is the ultimate calling, and teaching a MOOC about how to teach online, you think of the ramifications of 4,000 people, each maybe taking 1 or 2 ideas and using it with their students. So untold possibilities. I had to keep that in mind every time I went up, and I was animated. I don't know, they have some pictures at some point, but we did different things in the studio, at Studio 101 at Indiana, to try and capture their interests. We did a lot of polling. We did a lot of summarizing what they've learned. Little 3 things, takeaway things that Tiagi my friend Tiagi likes. What are 3 things you get from this? We did a lot of things where students blogged on what they're learning. They used wikis to collaborate. We had discussions, things wrapped around it like Twitter. So there are ways to form user groups that could personalize the experience for them, if you will. And I had 8 volunteer grad students helping out giving feedback on it. So some use expert feedback, some use system feedback, some use peer feedback, self-feedback to get, understanding of how you've progressed in the course. It can't all come from the instructor or you will die.